Hi everybody, this is Sujata. Welcome to the session of effective communication. Today we are going to be looking at some of the common interview questions that we all face, and I would like to give a few tips, especially the students who are taking training at STK Infosys. Once you have the training and your resume built, what is the next step? Is there something that is holding you back? Is there anything that we can do to help the students get the job that they're dreaming, or the career they're looking for, or the confidence? So we're going to look into the common questions, the topmost 5 common questions, and how you can answer them effectively. As you all know, we have effective communication sessions for the IT professionals who are taking courses in STK Infosys and various online branches. So we are going to be looking at the interpersonal and business communication that can be helpful at the workplace or even in your personal communication, how it's going to help you in your public speaking, interview facing and preparation, marketing yourself and your abilities, verbal and non-verbal skills. So during the interview, we are going to be looking at like the body language and the do's and don'ts, how to present yourself. These are the basic one. Then the next step comes to what are the different questions that are common and how do you answer themselves. So here we are trying to give you an overview, but remember always, you have to answer any question according to your personality. If you hear the idea from anyone, you have to make it your own and present it in a way that is authentic to your personality or to your way of speaking. Let's start with the basic question which everyone expects, but still sometimes we get carried away for various reasons. Either we are nervous, or we are too sure, too confident, or if you are too well prepared and you have memorized the answer, you're just going and saying that. So how not to do some of those things, but just think of when you're meeting someone for the first time. You would like to know about them. That is basically what the interviewer is seeking in this question. Tell me about yourself. He doesn't want a robotic answer. He just wants to know who you are, how you communicate, what is your background, and what do you bring to the table, so that he can move forward knowing a little more about you than just looking at you. Well, this is a scheduled interview, so my point of view is you do not have to introduce yourself with a name. I know a lot of people do that, but I'm not at all a big favorite of that, because they know who you are, they have your resume right in front of their eyes, and they will be addressing you before the start of the interview with your name. If they have a problem with your name, they're going to ask you. So you do not have to start with your name. But then, let's start. For example, if I say, tell me about yourself, you can either start with your education or with your job background, a little about it. So whatever is more comfortable, or what you think is what you're bringing to the table, what is more important. For example, if I have a student who is in the quality assurance tester program for IT, who does not have an IT background, so my point is, IT background is supposedly in the education. She has a training, but she did not come up from a technical course of education. So I'm saying, okay, let's start with your projects or your career, how you have moved through your career and you are here. You can of course bring the highest level of education to show that you're open to learning, you are capable of learning. And what is the amount of time that you can spend for a question like this? I would say not more than a minute or a minute and a half. You do not want the interviewer to be lost in the details. So keep it crisp, keep it concise and precise. You will start with your education or your career, whichever you want to start with, highest level of education or the relevant education, any certifications, and your brief experience of the projects with a little bit of your interests or the responsibilities that you have made you who you are, or the person or the person you have become because of the experience that you have. So let us try a quick session. For example, if you ask me to tell me about yourself, I'm going to say, well, I have started my career in effective communication for the past 5 years or so, and this is the passion of my life. I have a master's degree from India for quite some time. It's been a long time, but this is my interest. So as I've been working with the personnel in the IT industry, that is where I have become interested in the quality assurance program and the testing process. It's not only a technical but also a creative process, and that has what has interested me to get into this area. And I have been doing this for the past 5-6 years. I've been very successful. I have received a lot of accolades. I have worked very well with the team members, and I'm open to more experiences to build my career in this field. That's kind of it. I would like to say that. Tell me a brief about your interests or your positive attributes, but not too many. And then if the interviewer wants, you can still ask, would you like me to add more in a specific area or a specific project? Now, let us see, what is your goal for the next 5 years? This question may be one of the questions which might come a little later in the interview, not at the beginning. But I just thought, if you're going for an interview and somebody is thinking of they're offering you a job, they would like to know that you would stay. You have the integrity and the stability to stay in a job and be responsible with the commitment. So they would like to know how long you have stayed in your previous projects and how long you intend to stay. So kind of this is like the tricky question of asking you, are you going to stay with us, or where do you see yourself? Are you interested in moving vertically? Are you somebody who is goal oriented, is what they are looking for. So you should have an answer for this. Let's say if you're starting at the entry level position of a tester, you can say in 5 years I would like to work in different domains, or I would like to be the team lead who has a good knowledge of the different testing methodologies, or you can say I would like to be the project manager, or I would like to jump into the technical side and become a programmer or a developer. Whatever is your area of interest, you should be ready to give again, and not too much in detail, but just about a minute or so or less, even if I say, because it's your goal and you should have a clear conception of that. Now, let us look at the third question. Why did you leave your last job? This is a question which is very common, and a lot of people do not know how to answer it for various reasons. Some people have personal concerns. Some people just leave their job. They don't like it. Some people do not like the environment. Some don't like the commute. Whatever the reason is, you should be able to present to the current interviewer who is offering you the job or planning to offer you the job why you left your last job. He wants to know what kind of a situation that you're not willing to put up with. Is that what the environment in his office is like? So it's always to know if you have the ability to fit in their office, in their workplace. That's what they're looking for. So you should be able to answer this. Some of the simple answers would be like, I had some personal concerns, I needed to, some personal responsibilities that I needed to take care, or the project was ending, so I had to, I'm out of that job and I'm currently looking for new jobs, or I'm looking for a more challenging job, or I'm planning to change my career. So these are some positive things. Even if something does not go your way, you can always turn it around and show it, so that the person who is willing to give you the job knows that you're going to stay with them. What are some of your weaknesses and strengths? This is the fourth question I have come up with. This is relatively asking you, tell me more about yourself and your personality. How would you deal with the weaknesses if there are any? What are the things that you bring to the table that will help the workplace in this new job? So, usually all of us prepare for their strengths. I'm a good team player, I have excellent communication skills, I'm detail oriented, I like challenges, all that. But what about the weaknesses? We all know that we have experienced some way or the other. It does not necessarily have to be what you think is right for you or wrong. Or if you have seen something, for example, you have seen a manager who micromanages it. Or you have seen a manager who is very authoritative. Or you have seen a manager who is very laid back. You can take one of those examples and you can say, this is what it looked like for me working under a manager like that, but you always have to give a solution to the weakness that you're presenting, how you're going to solve it, so that you know how to handle something that you are accepting in your personality, but you would not let it bother you or would not let it hold you down in your job. So for example, if you have a manager who is micromanaging, you may not like it in the beginning, but then you'll say, well, if I did my job on time, on date, or if I communicated with him my problems or my way of working, then he would be at ease and he would not, I would not be in a position where I'm caught suddenly and he's asking me why and where the work is. So even before he comes to me, I made up a point to go and report to him like every day so that he knows exactly where I am and what I'm doing. It will help me feel confident and do my work at my pace. At the same time, it gives him the information that he is looking for every day at the end of the day. So that is this kind of thing. You can point out one or two weaknesses like I'm very detail oriented and it bothers me when others don't do their work as quickly as me or as efficiently as me. But how do you let go of that? How do you counter that? How do you work as a team player is what we are looking for. Now the fifth question is, why should I hire you for this job? Simple question, straightforward. You should have an answer for this because this could be maybe the last ending also. Like after everything was said and done, the interviewer wants to know you're serious about this job. And then it will if they offer you the job, you're going to stay in the job. So it's simple. The answer is as simple as the question. You know the requirements of the job description. You have asked the interviewer. They will give you some information. Now you have forwarded your resume with your skill set. So you're going to just restate that. Depending on looking at the requirements of the job description, I see that the skill set that I have or the experience that I have are apt. It suits well, and well, if you are really interested, you can go one step further and say, I have looked into the details of your company, your name in the market, so I'm really interested to be a part of it, or the work culture, whatever the positive points of the office or the work culture of that company is. If you bring that forward and say, I would be very happy to be a part of it, and at the same time I think my expertise will be of great benefit to the work culture of this company as well. So it's a mutual beneficial situation that you're presenting. So that should be the one which will give you and the interviewer a peace of mind, peace of mind to think, well, he is going to fit perfectly as the part of the group. And well, there you go. You have your job in hand, hopefully. Thank you for this session, and if you have any questions or concerns, please contact STK Infosys at the numbers that are there on the screen or the email, or you can email me directly at suja.suwani@h2kinfosys.com.